I'm just gonna open up with this, bro. If you were waiting for Markiplier to show up in the movie, then I'm sorry, because he's not. Probably because he's working on the movie Iron Lung, which I have a lot more hope for, personally. Because this movie just fucking sucked. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 just came out on December 6th, 2025. And while it's so cool to finally see these movies from a franchise that I personally grew up with, playing and watching the games on YouTube come to life in these live action adaptations, they just aren't doing the original games its justice. 12% on Rotten Tomatoes is fucking insane. I know before the first movie came out, critics were rating it low, and at the time it made sense, you know, like, you're not gonna get the lore, you're not a FNAF fan, so obviously the movie was made for the fans. The animatronics look amazing, and the toy animatronics in this movie look fucking awesome. I'm so glad, it's so awesome to see them in person rather than like a CG rendition of them. But even with all that being said, the movie's just fucking boring. The movie starts off really good. We get a flashback to the restaurant when it was fully operational. Not like from the first game, but you know, second game. This is the FNAF 2 movie, and it shows the origins of a young Vanessa and a young Charlotte, who we will come to know as the marionette. Charlotte's death and the marionette kind of tie and form the relationship that you're gonna see in the movie. Then we get to see Mike and Abby. The movie explains how the aunt went crazy talking about the animatronics running rampant. I guess she's a lunatic or something, I don't know, but the town loves the story so much that the town would make its own celebration called Faz Fest, which sounds great at first. I mean, the entire town dressed as animatronics while the real animatronics are wandering out and about. The movie even says there might even be a massacre, but ultimately, like, nothing major happens. The most they do is fuck up some houses and terrorize Vanessa in her car. Abby is pretty much like the same character, except they made her like almost too naive, almost as if she doesn't know what happened to her in the first movie. She's obviously grown from since we last saw her, but it's almost like she forgot everything that happened, like all the traumatic shit that happened to her in the first movie. She keeps asking Mike about her old friends, and Mike the entire time just lies to Abby, saying that he'll fix them, but when Abby goes on bike to the old restaurant, the animatronics don't do anything, and that's when Mike tells Abby the truth. How close is the restaurant from where they live? How long was Mike out for Abby to leave, come back, and then go to sleep for school in the morning? Mike just couldn't move like a little bit farther away. Anyway, Abby goes to school and she's yapping about the events from the first movie, and everyone thinks she's cool, but one kid follows her and he's the only one that believes her. So I guess they're cool friends. She's got this teacher for a fucking bully, which is kind of fucking funny to me, but this man was a prick the entire time he was on screen. They're in robotics class and Abby's struggling. She's trying to build an animatronic robot, like, you know, a little small version of Chica. But then her teacher shows up, you know, just gives Abby shit and then just fully writes off Abby's name, saying that she just has to do better or do good enough or something. I don't know. This dude obviously hates Abby. That one kid from earlier asks Abby if she would ever go back to Freddy's and whether or not maybe she could fix the animatronics herself. She does, and Mike pulls up a little bit after. Mike tries to cheer Abby up, and she eventually takes home the fast talker. So I'm guessing this is just like a movie thing. I've never seen this in the games, or maybe it's in the books. I have no idea. Let me know. Later that night, the fast talker does talk to Abby.
So you not gay?
Saw that coming. No. And later she unknowingly bypasses the restriction for the animatronics to go outside the pizzeria. I wasn't gonna include this, but it's the first scene we get with Michael Afton, so I guess I will. A group of paranormal hunting teenagers get a call to explore the FNAF 2 location from a guy named Mike, who we think at first is Mike Schmidt, but it's actually Michael Afton that called them in. We get Paige from Young Sheldon and Junior from the Chucky TV series. They're both here. I don't know who the third guy is though. I'm sorry, I just haven't seen you in other forms of media. Maybe I have, let me know. They wander around for a little bit, and then Paige gets this music box on her little EMF reader or something that slowly goes in and out the farther closer she is from it. And without telling anyone, any of her friends, she decides to go ahead and start walking by herself with no camera, no way to get the proof or evidence of what the fuck she's getting, and tells the group she'll be right back. And they're all just okay with it, like they don't know the fucking place, like they're not in a fucking horror movie made for children. She finds the puppet box and they all die one by one immediately after, with the marionette possessing Paige, or McKenna Grace. That's the actor. It then cuts to Vanessa getting PTSD from her dad while she's trying to get a workout, and then pulls a gun on someone that just asks if she's alright. I mean, she's going through some traumatic shit, but if your first instinct is to pull out a gun, I think you need to seek some counseling. What the fuck are you doing? Then out of nowhere, we get a circus baby reveal? What the fuck? We're not even like that far into the games. This is just the second movie. I hope we get to see her come to life and do the scooping shit, but I don't know, the thought of being over the age of 35 and watching FNAF 5 is kind of haunting to me. The Faz Talker starts talking to Abby, and it later tells her how to get to the new location, which I don't know how the fuck it could do that. Where's the GPS? How is it following her? I don't know, kind of weird. Anyway, Abby arrives and we get Toy Chica in all of her glory. It's just her. And for the majority of the movie, she's the main animatronic you're going to be seeing on screen. Toy Chica Gooners are eating good today. Vanessa gets in a chokehold by the marionette and forces her to give her the perimeter unlock code, or else Abby gets scooped and all the animatronics just start coming out and they look so fucking awesome, dude. I'm talking Toy Freddy, Toy Bonnie, Mangle. You get all of the toy animatronics. They just look so badass, and as much as the movie sucked for me, I'm glad they didn't do CG on the animatronics. They look ripped straight out of the games. Thank you, Jim Henson. You continue to be a GOAT to this day. You're killing it, man. You'd think this is where the animatronics start fucking just going crazy and start killing innocent people out on the streets. You know, be terrorizing animatronics, but no, this is a PG-13 movie. Instead, it's just Chica walking around with Abby and them going to the science fair. And Corey Kenshin is back. Woohoo, another cameo. Where is Markiplier? Oh yeah, he's making that other movie, I forgot. Then we finally get to see Henry Emily, but we don't know it's him. He's played by Ski Ulrich. He's only on screen for like 5 fucking minutes. Are you kidding me? Not much to say other than he's just talking to Mike in this scene, talking about the old animatronics, and he's talking about William Afton. Not very much to say until the very end of the movie. It's now the science fair and Toy Chica is fucking pissed. She knows what Abby's teacher has been doing to her, and once he broke her science project, he gets fucking ragdolled by Chica. Fucking thank you. I hated that loser. Mike is playing the game and the movie, and all the animatronics just start fucking going crazy, and the Wither animatronics start showing up, and they are the creepiest part of the movie. Wow, 10 out of 10. They got every single animatronic down to a T. They're amazing. Mike even does the little mask thing, and it's kind of like that one Pimations animation video, 5 a.m. in the prequel or something. I don't know. I'll show it on the screen, or it'll be in the description below too if y'all haven't seen that. It's a pretty classic video, I'm not gonna lie. Mike faces off all the withered animatronics and ripping off Balloon Boy's head, and Foxy even shows up, and the mask doesn't fool him, leaving Mike to shut down the animatronics like last second. A whole lot of just convenient shit happens in this movie. Not too long after Mike does all this, Vanessa is getting trolled by Mangle in her car, and she ends up fucking her car so much that she has to leave it on the side of the road, radiator completely blown out. But as soon as she starts leaving her car, Mike's friend just apparently shows up, fucking just happens to be in the neighborhood, and offers her a ride, and doesn't even ask if she's okay, or like what the fuck happened to her. He just offers her a ride. The entire time he just says crazy eyes because he thinks Vanessa is a crazy bitch. Well, he might be right. I don't know. She has yet to even say what extent she knows about her father. So I don't know. Maybe he's onto something. Mike nearly fucking dies, but he successfully turns off all the animatronics. But there's one animatronic that didn't turn off, and it's at his house with Abby. The marionette possesses Abby and terrorizes Vanessa, playing this little hide and seek game. Not too long after that, Mike comes in clutch last minute again. What a neat little coincidence there, and saves Abby while also, I forgot to mention this. Mike came in with the music box, because you wind up the music box in the game, then the puppet will shut the fuck up and go back in its cage. Yeah, Mike had that, and then as soon as the puppet started, like, I don't know, depossessing Abby, he just kind of shuts the box, bro. Like, what was the whole point of that? Keep it playing. What is wrong with you? They all try to leave, but all the animatronics, like all the toy animatronics, corner them, with Michael Afton revealing his name and revealing the relationship he has to his sister, Vanessa. Little fun fact that she hid from everyone. Just before they're about to die, just coincidentally, again, the old animatronics from the first movie come back, and I shit you not, Avengers style, kills off all the new animatronic, or the toy animatronics, one by one. This was the funniest and stupidest shit they could have ever came up with. I was laughing at the idea of this and even being someone's thought process in the fucking writer's room. How did this make it to the final cut? Anyways, yeah, they one by one they all die. Toy Chica gets her head ripped off by OG Chica, and everyone's just, after every single one of these reveals, everyone's just clapping, cheering for the old animatronics, which I thought was fucking funny. Michael tries to run away, but then Mike's friend that picked up Vanessa right hooks Michael, and he's like, jackass, where you think you going? But it doesn't fucking matter, because he leaves Michael alone for whatever reason. He doesn't tie him up or anything, and he runs away. So there was no point of even clocking his ass. The OG animatronics are starting to malfunction, and it's like they're pretty much just all dying. Vanessa tells Abby that they weren't made to leave Freddy's, so this was pretty much their sacrifice, save Abby's life, which is kind of sweet, kind of wholesome. Then the Golden Freddy kid starts talking to Abby, which we knew they could talk to each other. That was established in the first movie. It was only Abby that could see them in person as their kid ghosts, with Mike seeing them in his dreams. Then Golden Freddy's spirit starts talking to Mike, saying he won't be able to keep him from coming out much longer, assuming, you know, William Afton. Mike is like, what the hell, what do you mean, who's he? And then he's gone. Vanessa tries to talk to Mike, and then Mike's just like, fuck off and stay away from him and Abby. He's like, I don't even know you. Don't call me. Don't come by my house. We're done. And honestly, yeah, fuck Vanessa. She's like the cause for all of this happening, not just to Abby, but for the first victims as well. And Charlotte, you know? The movie ends with Charlotte, Marionette, taking over Vanessa's body. And that's kind of it. That's the whole movie. It kind of just like ends so abruptly. It's definitely really weird. The post-credit scene isn't too much to babble over about. It's just a group of even more teenagers trying to collect authentic Fazbear Pizzeria memorabilia from the old locations. It's pretty short, and it ends with them finding Springtrap. It's pretty cool because it doesn't look like Springtrap from the games. It kind of more looks like the first ever FNAF 3 teaser image of Springtrap from Scott Games' website, which I thought was kind of a cool little Easter egg. And then another post-credit scene, or I guess the second one. It's not really a scene. It's a recording that Henry Emily made for Mike. He's telling him that he used to be William Afton's partner in business for years, and that with the equipment that he has, even though it's outdated, he's still able to track down all the animatronics that they worked on, and warns Mike that the marionette is out to get him in his own house, but he's kind of too late. So I guess Mike's just gonna have to deal with that at another time. I don't know. The movie's over. So I hated the abrupt ending. The entire movie just felt like a setup for the third film. So until that third movie comes out, this movie won't feel as solid or as whole. The lore in these movies are just too much for the average person who has no clue what the fuck FNAF is. I mean, look at the critic ratings and compare that to the fans of the franchise. These movies are made purely only by reference grabbing from the source material, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but going too over the rails like the fucking puppet possessing people and making them look like a fucking Instagram filter, or like making Michael Afton and Michael Schmidt two separate characters instead of it being Michael Afton and then just using fake names. Which, now that I say that, I kind of like the idea of it. It gives the movies more of its own identity, and it's an idea that doesn't stray too far from the source material. But oh my god, if you told me that this guy was Michael Afton, I'd say, yeah, no shit, that's Michael fucking Afton. What do you think gave it away? Purple guy, purple! Honestly, Abby's teacher could have been Michael Afton and I wouldn't have batted an eye, but yeah, sure, this guy, I guess. Back in the intro, I said that this movie was boring, and looking back, I kind of take it back. This movie isn't boring. If you look at it from a horror movie standpoint, then yeah, this movie fucking sucks. But if you know the lore and you're expecting it to be a bad movie or like a really cheesy comedy movie or something, then you could probably get a few laughs at it. After the banger intro in the beginning, I just couldn't take the rest of the movie seriously, but in turn, I enjoyed it a lot more. I wouldn't know what it's like for the people who watch these movies without knowing the lore, so for those people, you're just gonna have to watch a fucking FNAF iceberg, or go get your hands dirty and play the games if you're not afraid of spending $20. If you're a FNAF fan, or if you haven't been one in a while, and you only saw the first movie, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and watch the second movie, but go in expecting it'll be bad. It's a fan service franchise. It has all of these references to hold on to and for the fans to catch those references. As long as they do that, they can make enough money for the next movie, and then the next movie, and then the next movie. You get what I'm saying? They know they can milk this franchise to death, and although it wasn't as big as its heyday, the massive community overall just keeps this with their massive amount of fan games, the toys, the costumes, games, the books. So much has come out of this franchise. If it weren't for the fans, all of this might not have been what it is today. I loved the series as a kid, and I have been waiting for the first movie to come out for years, ever since Scott first talked about it way back before like the fourth game was even announced. The hype for this series was insane, and I remember watching a video on YouTube. It was like a thank you video for Scott and for all the games that he's made, and as corny as it sounds, I shed a tear or two, okay? It was peak in my eyes. What were your thoughts on the FNAF 2 movie? Was your theater experience awesome, or did you end up sitting next to a toy Chickagooner? Let me know down below, and I'd love to hear from y'all. Check out my socials and other videos down below, and that's about it. See ya.
Freddy, and I'm in your head. I'm Nightmare Freddy, and I'm in your bed. Better flash your lights, clip the holes all night. Flash the closet too, better flash it twice. You can survive.
Yeah, flash your light or you will die.
We're gonna bite you,
Just like a 37, I'm a...